Hello there. I'm a little bit disgusted with myself right now. I just spent 2.5 hours doing a live stream, doing these 3 Python expression and variable exercises. And when I got it done, I was so proud of myself. And when I went to review it, there was no sound. And then I realized that I had unplugged my mic to plug in my phone. So I'm going to start over. I'm going to do it a little differently this time. I'm going to do one exercise per video because it was a little bit long. So I'm doing this right now. I'm going to start with this first exercise here. The bread baker. A baker already has 4 loaves of bread at home over 3 days. They buy more bread and use some of it for baking. I don't know how you use bread for baking, but that's what it says. These are exercises that I had Claude come up with for me. Expressions and variables is the unit that I've been working on in my Udemy course that I spoke about in my previous videos. I'm on my way to becoming a data analyst. I'm 57 years old and I'm switching from a career for the last 7 years of graphic design and creating my own products to sell from graphic design. And I'm switching back to programming and databases and whatnot. And that's where my passion lies. So that's what I'm going to do. So what I've decided to do is that every unit or every couple of sections of my Udemy course that I do, I'm going to put together some practice exercises so that I can explain it as I'm going, because to me that helps reinforce it in my brain and hopefully I might teach somebody something. So Python is not my language of choice, but it is the preferred language for data analysis. So I've done Python before, but limited and a long time ago. So the first thing we're going to do is write the code for this bread baker exercise. It's very simple. It just deals with expressions and variables. You assign values to the variables. Then you use expressions to calculate the values. Then you do concatenation to print out strings derived from the variables. Some of the variables have to be converted to string types because they are integers, in this first one anyway. So this is what we got. So bread bought each day. Day 1, 6 loaves. Day 2, 8 loaves. And day 3, 5 loaves. Bread used each day. Day 1, 3 loaves. Day 2, 7 loaves. And day 3, 4 loaves. Our task is to write a Python program that stores the starting amount and each day's bought and used values in variables, and then you use expressions to calculate the total loaves bought, total loaves available, total loaves used, and loaves remaining. And then you got to print each result with a label. I took it a step further and I created sentences to tell the story. So that's what we're going to do, and we're going to get started right now. So I'm just going to, let's see, I'm going to haul this, whoops. I just want to make this a little bit smaller. I'm just going to leave the values there so I can see them. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go into pycharm. Now the exercises for these videos are in the description. I have them up on a Google Drive and I have them made available for download. So if you go to the description, you can get the PDF with the 3 exercises on it, and you can also get the PDF with the solution on it. Now the solutions might be a little different than what I come up with because everybody got their own way of doing things, but basically it's all the same with 6 variables and a couple little calculations. How far off can you get? So what I'm starting with, now nobody told me this is just a habit from my previous programming experience. I always put in comments wherever you can, because if you got to go back and look at it someday, you might be happy that you got those comments there if you got to figure out what's going on. I'm pretty good at reading code and figuring out what code is trying to say and what it's trying to do. But sometimes if there's no comments, it's very difficult to figure it out. So we're going to start by putting in a comment. So to put in a comment in Python, use the hashtag, the symbol up over the 3. And you probably can't see that very good. So I'm going to make that a little bit smaller, bigger. I'd like for you to be able to see what I'm doing in detail here. Okay, so the hashtag, and then the comment is, we're going to say breadbot. Okay, so that's a hashtag. That does not affect your code whatsoever because you got to comment it out with the hashtag. And our next other section is going to be bread used. So we're going to put in a hashtag there and say bread used. Okay, next we're going to create 3 variables. Oh, good Lord. We're going to create 3 variables for the bread that was bought and 3 variables for the bread that was used. I did forget something here. I'm going to just go up here and put in the bread on hand because there were 4 loaves of bread existing before they bought any bread. So we're going to go number sign, hashtag, whatever you want to call it. And we're going to say bread on hand. Okay, so that variable we're going to call bread underscore on hand equals, oops, I better put some spaces around them operators. Operator is a equal sign, plus, minus, divide, multiply. Okay, so we're going to put in our equal sign and we're going to say 4. Bread on hand equals 4. Okay, so our bread bought, if you look at the instructions here, it says day 1, 6 loaves, day 2, 8 loaves, day 3, 5 loaves. So for each one of these days, I'm going to create a different variable. That's the way you would do it as a beginner. There's other ways of doing it later, and we'll probably get to see that in future videos. But for now, we're going to create 1 variable for each day for bread bought and 1 variable for each day for bread used. So we're just going to say, for day 1, we're going to say D1 bought. Okay, so we put in a space, our operator, or equal sign, and it puts in fake values there. You just fill them in. 6, D1 bought, 6. So that means on day 1, 6 loaves of bread were bought. Okay, D2 bought, 8 loaves. And D3, oops, bought. It fills in fake values, but just keep an eye out for that because you don't want to end up with fake values and have bad data. And it gave me an extra one, actually. I don't need it. Okay. What I'm using here is pycharm, and it fills in some values for you. So you always got to be careful that you double check. I'm not sure why I got green line under this. It's just a typo. It just says that it's spell wrong, but it's not spell wrong. Maybe I'll put a underscore in here to make that go away. Okay, yep, that worked. Okay. So next thing we're going to do here. Oh, by the way, pycharm, I have it in the description. You can download it. If you go to the link in the description, you can get pycharm. It's free. Just download it and install it, and you can start practicing. You download the practice exercises from my Google Drive, and you can do this yourself. And you can even get the solutions and just copy and paste them in. Then you can play with the numbers and test the functions, the expressions and stuff like that to see if you're getting correct values. Okay. So that's the bread bat. The bread used is, so we're going to say D1 used equals 3 loaves. D2 used and D3, fill it all in for me because it's predictive, right? It goes by what you already put in there. Now, sometimes it's correct, sometimes it's not, so be very careful. Always double check your values and stuff if something goes in automatically that you didn't type in there. Okay, D3 used is 4. So there was, on day 3, there was 4 loaves of bread used. Okay, so we're going to see what the instructions are now. We got all our variables created here. Not all of them, well, just about all of them. It's kind of hard having several screens on the go here, but shit. Oh no, that dragged it. I want it to extend it, not drag it. I use the Alt key. I'm sure I'm after stretching that out somehow. I'm going to go back into my Acrobat here now. That is so stretched out. Let's just, there. That's better. So what we got to do now is we got to use expressions and we got to figure out the total value of the total loaves bought, the total loaves available, and the total loaves used. And after you do that, you got to figure out how many loaves are remaining, and then we got to present the data either with the values with a label. It says here in the, let's see, it says print each result with a label. Okay. I prefer to do it a different way. I prefer to create sentences. So when I get my values, I will just concatenate sentences and incorporate the values into it. Now, some of these values, well, pretty much all these values are integers or numbers. And when you go to concatenate numbers and string values, you get an error because you can't add numbers to letters, obviously. Okay, so you have to convert them to a string. So we're going to get going now here, and we're going to come up with these sum values. So we need to get the total loaves bought, total loaves available, and the total loaves used, and the total loaves remaining. So I'm just going to drag this out of the way here. Okay, so back into pycharm here. So I'm going to put another hold on there now. Oh, okay. Yeah, I keep forgetting that I got this stretched out so you can see a little bit better here, because maybe I should have it bigger on my computer. Maybe I should put on the accessibility settings to make it larger, make the type larger. I should, you know, because you know what? It would make my life a lot easier. I will work on that for the next video. Okay, so our next variable is we want to figure out how much bread was bought. So we're going to create a new variable, and it's going to be called bread underscore bought. Okay. Bread bought equals D1. Oh, shoot. Yeah, okay, that's right. D1 bought plus D2 bought plus D3 bought. So it recommends those values there, and yes, they are correct. And I'm going to hit my tab key now, and that'll lock in those values. So hit tab. Okay, so bread bought is day 1 what you bought, day 2 what you bought, and day 3 what you bought. Okay. So next thing we need to do is so we got to add the bread bought to the bread on hand. So we're going to put in total underscore bread. That's the variable. And the variable, to figure that one out, you add your bread on hand to your bread bat, and that tells how many loaves of bread you currently have. So I'm going to go equals bread on hand. Okay, that's wrong. We put the values in there, but we don't want those values. Bread on hand plus bread bat. Whoops. Underscore bat. Now it's giving you way too many suggested values there, so we won't even bother to hit tab to lock that in because we don't want all that. Bread bat. Enter. So total bread equals bread on hand plus bread bat. Okay. Let's see. So we want to go bread underscore used. So bread used is the total number of loaves that were used. So we're going to go bread used equals D1 used plus D2 used plus D3 used. And that is correct. So we hit tab and that's done. So now we want to know what bread is remaining. Bread remaining equals, okay, it did the calculation for you. It suggested it. So you got your total bread minus your bread used. And that'll tell you how many loaves of bread you got remaining. So I'm going to go, looks like I'm looking off the screen. Hang on, I'll put this over on the other side. Huh. Put me over here. No. And put this over here. Okay. That's better. Now it looks like I'm actually looking at the code. Okay. Whoops, what did I just do? Equals, bread remaining equals total bread minus bread used. So I hit tab and that locks that in. Okay. So now we got to come up with the sentences that we want to print out to be able to convey those values to the person that's viewing the information. Because after all, that's why we do programming with data, so that we can give people accurate information. So we're going to start by creating some print commands. So we're going to say print. So whenever you use a print command, you use brackets. So, oops, not 9, brackets. So it says print, and then it got the variable in the brackets. So we want to add some words to it. So we want to make legible sentences. So we're going to start with some text, and we're going to use quotation marks, and we're going to say the person or the homeowner, or I can't even remember what it was. Let me just have a quick look here. The baker. Okay, let's go back in here. The baker had, okay, so we got to leave the space after had. And now we want to put in the number of bread loaves that he had on hand. So the baker had space. Now we're going to go plus, because that adds stuff to that sentence. So the next variable in here is bread used, but we don't want that. That's all messed up. We don't want that. We'll hit tab to lock it in, and then we'll go in and change it to what we need. And that'll save us some bit of typing. So we hit tab. The baker had however many loaves on hand. So that's bread on hand. Oops. The baker had, well, we know that the value of that is 4. The baker had 4. And you can notice that that's converted to a string. So he puts the variable in the brackets, and the function string turns that number 4 integer into a string that's a 4. Okay. Oh, there goes his phone again. All right. Bread on hand. We don't want to say bread's remaining. We want to say the baker had 4 loaves of bread. Okay. Let's see. The baker had, and that's going to print out saying the baker had 4 loaves of bread. Okay. Okay. My husband's talking to somebody on the phone. Okay, so the next line we need to print out here is he purchased. Okay, he purchased plus, how many loaves of bread did he buy? He bought, the variable for bread, the bread that he bought is actually bread bought. He purchased, so we want to convert that number to a string and put it in brackets, bread underscore bought. He purchased, shit. We want to put in a plus sign, and then in quotes we want to put in loaves of bread. Okay. Now, the next line that we need to print out is how many loaves that he used. So we want to say print, oh shit. He used, and now we're going to go the same way again. Yep, this is actually the correct variable. So we just hit tab here. He used string bread used. So however many loaves of bread that he used, convert it to a string. And with the rest of this green text here, will give you a actual sentence. Okay, loaves of bread. Now we're going to say print. He had, okay, you leave your space there. You go after your quote inside your brackets. Oops, I'm clicking on the wrong thing here. He had plus sign, string, bread. Okay, this is not the correct variable, but we're going to hit tab anyway, and then we'll go back and change it. He had, we want to put in the bread remaining. My face is in the way here. Put it over here, out of the way. Okay, so this is the variable that we need. Okay. This one here, bread remaining. No, I don't think I put in an underscore there. That's a little typo. Okay, that's good. Bread remaining. Okay, so we wanted to say he had blank loaves of bread left over, say. Okay, so I think we have that coded as much as we need it. Okay, so I'm just going to shift this up here. This is our output. That what we're seeing here is output from the last goofed up attempt at the last goofed up attempt at a live that I did. Now I'm still looking the wrong way. Oh well, it don't matter. So we're going to run that now, and it should give us all the actual values created from the info that we gave it and the values that we calculated. So we're just going to hit our run button, and we didn't get any errors. I didn't have my punctuation put in here. Use 14 loaves of bread. Nine left over. So let's do the math here. He had 4 loaves of bread. He bought 19, so that's 23. He used 14, so 23 take away 14 is 9. That's correct. I'm just going to fix up the punctuation here now, and we'll run it again, and you'll see that it's all perfectly punctuated. So I need to adjust some of these lines here. Okay, so just need to put in the periods at the end of them. That's all. Not a big deal. Okay, so that's in there. I'm just going to go up here. I'm going to hit the play the run button. You see that it's done properly this time. So that's the first exercise in the exercises that I had AI create for me. So like I said, I'm doing a course through Udemy for data analysis. I'm 57 years old. I'm switching careers, and I am ready to stop struggling, trying to do my little artistic thing that I've been doing for the last 7 years, and I've been struggling ever since. Some days were good, some days were bad, some Christmases were good, some Christmases were bad. But always comes back down to it that I got to scramble to get some money to pay the bills or pay the mortgage, or the mortgage came out of the bank and I got to get sell some stuff to cover the mortgage. I don't want to live like that anymore, and I want to become a data analyst. I was a programmer before, and now there's a whole lot of new technology. One time I used to make dashboards for a company I worked for, and I used to use strictly Excel sheets. So uh, they were nice little dashboards, but compared to what you can do with Microsoft Power BI and Tableau and all those kind of things, the Excel dashboards did not cut it whatsoever. So I'm anxious to learn that. I had a little crack at it on my course. I jumped ahead, of course, because that's what I do. Anyways, looks very fascinating. The Power BI is covered in that course. Tableau is not, so I will have to find another course that I can do that. They say that if you're doing data analysis, you don't need them all, the reporting and the visualization softwares, but they say that if you have Power BI or if you have Tableau, and there's another one, I forget the name of it now, but it's pretty good too. And they say you only need one, but who knows? Maybe I'll have a pick with both of them and see which one I like better. Anyways, this is number 1 of 3 of exercises reinforcing the expressions and variables section of the course that I am doing. I do know Python from years ago. It's a little bit different now. Not much though, but it's been a long time and I don't really remember it. So I am doing it right from scratch, right from the bare basics. And the reason I like to do the videos is because I like to explain stuff as I'm going, as I'm figuring it out, because it helps me remember it, reinforces it in my head, and hopefully it might help somebody else as well. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please subscribe to my channel, and it would help me out a lot. Thank you. Have a great day.